How's it going out there? Everybody okay this week? Well, it's me, Auntie Doc, Doc of Investing. I'm jumping on here really quickly. This is definitely the end of what I call my March Madness. So it has been all of that and then some. I mean, anything you guys can think of is going on. You name it, it's happening. For a lot of you who know me, I'm always talking about, protecting your wealth and all those kinds of things. And now what's going on right now is that you have so many people who are out and about, and whether they're with COVID and everything, whether they're losing jobs or whatever it is. And it has just been crazy. So for me, protection of wealth right now is extremely important. And not to mention that I'm doing all of what I'm supposed to be doing, including still coaching in the 21 and 21 program. So I've got clients that I have to tend to there. And then the Compass group, which is, investors who are in that space who need some, guidance as well. And so my goal for them is to make sure that they all have at least one property when they finish the program. So between those two things, that's enough in itself. But no, not in March Madness. March Madness also has to create all kinds of things, like my kids' birthdays are 3 days apart. So we've got to have those things going on. You've got to have the family time, that kind of thing. Working on several development projects all over the country. COVID is still there. We have three mini conferences coming up, plus Teach at the Beach is coming up. You name it, it's going on. And one thing I want to bring to you guys, because this is some homework I gave to the Compass group that we'll be talking about later, is the she session that's going on. So all my ladies, because I know I have a lot of women who follow me and things like that, I want you guys to go and research what they have called this COVID breakdown and why they've called it the she session. So part of the tour and why we're bringing that to the three cities, and we're not planning on going to a bunch of cities or anything like that. But the one thing that when you guys go and do that research on the she session is that you'll see that the people who are affected, and also understand this is not just for women. There are also men who were independent contractors and things like that who worked for employers or whatever it was, wherever they worked, they have lost their income in this time, right? So they lost their jobs. So what you see now is that you see a lot of people who are saying, well, I'm not going to go back to that job. It's no longer there. And the reason they're calling it a she session is because the increase in the number of women who have lost their jobs is higher than men, and also because the effects of a woman's wealth is much longer than their counterparts. So here's what's going on, guys, really quickly. If a person has, and this is just for people who are coming out, they're going to start their own businesses and things like that. If you have lost your full-time job somewhere and now you've decided, hey, I'm going to get into the real estate, I'm going to be a real estate agent, or I'm going to be a full-time investor, or whatever it is you decided you're going to do. The minute you make that decision, and let's say it's this year, you say, okay, I'm not going back to work, I'm going into business for myself. Understand that it takes a real business 2 years to even see if it is going to be a viable business, which is why that 2-year time frame, you'll see it from the SBA and everything else, is why so many people enter business and then leave business, because it really takes you 2 years to see if this is going to be a viable business. Okay, so if you add the 2 years into, is this going to be a viable business, chances are for year 1 and year 2, and let's just take real estate agents for an example, in the first 2 years, the average agent is going to make about $8,000 to $9,000. So that's not a lot of money, right? To do anything with, but try to survive with that and maybe another hustle to try to make ends meet to keep this business going. So any company that's out there that's been started this year, you have to give yourself about 2 years just to see if it's going to be a viable business. Then after that 2 years, now we're looking at year 3. Half of those businesses are going to exit. And so if you were a person who has now lost their job, started a business for 2 years, and then you exit, then that 3rd year, you're looking for new income or new business. So if it's a new business, then you're doing a cycle again, 2 more years to see if it's viable. So guys, in a nutshell, what we're looking at is that if people in your network or yourself have lost their full-time jobs or have decided they're going to start a new business, whether it be a real estate business, a construction company, I don't care what it is, within that 5-year period, there is no wealth creation happening there if it's not intentional. Because normally what's happening is the person or the company or the business owner is trying to survive. So any money that they're bringing in is paying for cars and gas and training and everything else that they have to have. That wealth building is going on the back burner. So what I want people to do and what I want them to pick up from this time and what they should be doing during this time of COVID is to continue to build wealth, but you now have to do it not like you or we were doing it before. This is the time that you have to partner up. You've got to partner up in order to build wealth at a faster pace. Because if you are a new business owner, for example, and you do not have assets that you are still able to buy over the next 5 years, then that 5 years plus whatever you didn't do before now is earning time that you're not going to have in the market. Okay. So part of the tours, as we're coming out and we're doing these things, we're getting all the Compass ladies ready so that they can, put things together. Some of you have already seen us doing a lot of group investing and things like that, because as a group, your money can go farther. And for you guys as investors who are new investors, you have to build wealth faster. And so to do that, you might have to be a partner on 5 projects instead of trying to save all the money you need to be a partner on 1. If you have to save money to do a project, or you have to get all your ducks in a row for yourself to do 1 project, that project may not happen for 6 months, 12 months. So look at the monies and stuff that you've lost by waiting to do it alone. And if you decided, hey, maybe I get into these 5 different partnerships, I could be earning faster and building wealth faster if I was in several partnerships. So that's what I kind of wanted to just run by you guys today. I am truly in my March Madness. And so everything is on 140 speed, 140 miles per hour for me. And I mentioned this to somebody. It's like, I have 4 attorneys right now who are dealing with 4 different things. So I've got 4 different attorneys who are all, let's say, niched in a particular area. So one thing, as an example, is we have property in North Carolina. Well, that property in North Carolina, we need the attorney there because the property was not willed correctly from a family member. So now we got to get the the second wife to sign off, all kind of stuff. So we got to have attorneys to do that. Now you got to have attorneys to deal with the people who tried to steal my lot. Okay, some of y'all might not know about that, but yes, somebody tried to steal my lot in Kansas City. So I got to have an attorney for that. I got to have an attorney to deal with tax accounting and things like that that's going on. And they're dealing with that. And then I have another attorney who's got to deal with the development project. So you've got, guys, when I tell you it is crazy out here, you have to understand you can't do this alone. So if you are a person who is sitting here and who's got all these plans of how you're going to do all of this stuff, and the only person that is at the table, at your team's table, is you're not going to get there. You are going to burn out trying to do all of the pieces that it takes to build your empire, and more importantly, keep your empire. Okay, so for this week, I want everybody who's here, male, female, whatever, go into the Google search and just do a search on she session. She session. It was term coined earlier last year, and look and see what's going on, because as I've been following it, the numbers of people who are losing income, jobs, things like that has been increasing. And so I couldn't get my hands around the correct number before I got on here, but it was, one time I looked, it was 2 million. Another time I looked, it said 3.5 million, and what that looks like. And so if you are fortunate enough not to have lost your job, fortunate enough to have a successful business, then I want you to take some time and look at what people and what team members you can add to your company at this time, knowing that a lot of people are home, not employed, they're looking for contract work, all kinds of things that allow them to work from home. And this is the time to team up with some of those professionals as well. And what do those professionals look like? What skills do they have? It's endless, because you have people who have done all kinds of things, and those jobs that are not coming back, they have to be employed, and those people have to go somewhere. So although people are not saying a whole lot, know that in your network, there are a lot of people who are not working. And if you are a small business and need more, talent and things like that, then reach within your network and see who's available and what they can possibly bring to the table. Because the eviction moratorium, like I already told you guys, some of you got a heads up that it was going to be extended. And so, of course, we got that notification yesterday, and people are still in a transition mode. So keep that in mind as well. So why I say partners and looking at that is because every person who works with me, alongside of me, I look at them as partners. Those become my partners in business. So partnerships are going to be what is going to allow us to still build wealth, to still make our goals, and not get stuck standing still, trying to still do all this stuff in this crazy world all alone. And that's just what it is. So let's see. What kind of questions we got going on? Are you saying she session? I just want to make sure it doesn't have some fancy spelling like recession, but just with the she. So that's where it's coming from. Someone said, hey, millionaires. Hey, everybody. I know I just jumped right in. Hey, Destiny Chaser. I haven't seen you in a while. Hey, Latoya. So guys, make sure that your partnerships are, of course, win-wins. And I say win-win-win. Like, not only should it two of you, but it's probably more people who will be at it. I mean, one of the partnerships like we're working on right now is we partnered up on property in Dominican Republic, because it just made sense to do that, and still on the goal sheet is still to acquire wealth. So where can you go that it's a buyer's market? How can you team up with someone who's flipping? All of those things are what we're focused on during this time, because people are standing still and don't know what to do. So if you're coming to the $100 million tour, you'll see a common denominator that's going all the way through there, is that there will be opportunities for you to partner up on projects, whether it's flip or buy and hold. So just be ready for those partnership opportunities that we're bringing to the table. And then, of course, always, always, always look for partnerships within your own network, within your own communities, all the time. So whether you're going to do partner up on a development, partner up on commercial lending, partner up on fix and flips, buy and holds, whatever it is, guys, make sure that is a part of your strategy for this year. We need to partner up. The solo thing, we're not going to go far. Unless you have deep pockets, can you go really far alone? So guys, I've got to run, but I did want to get that information out to you guys. If you have questions, just make sure you drop them here. Carmine will, let me know that there are messages or stuff like that there. And again, Carmine is the go-to. If you can't reach me, it's because I'm coaching and or working on these developments or something else that's going on. So I'm not as accessible as I normally am. And that's why these chats and stuff work. So the folks who are here, 2:00, remember, we have Compass Coaching call that comes up, and I will talk to the rest of you guys later. Remember, partnerships for the rest of this year and probably into next year until we see this market kind of turn around, and also because we need the support of what's going on as well. Okay, so partner up. We'll talk to you guys later. Bye-bye.